with Team Pisces. We in the building. But first, I want to give a shout out to all my fellow Pisceans out there. Gang, you all already know. We in the building. Also want to give a shout out to all my 2-2s and my 3-3s and my 2-2-2s and my 3-3-3s and my 7-7-7s. And shout out to any other angelical numerical numbers that I may have forgot to mention. I also want to thank everybody for coming out to support the channel. Thank you. And those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell notification and be notified of my upcoming videos and content. And we're going to jump right in. So we talking about the School of Fish Part 8. And in this segment, we talking about the past lives of Pisces. And we're going to discuss the lies, the lovers, and the lessons that we can't escape. Now, very first thing is, everybody know us Pisces. We the last sign of the zodiac. And we have to know that the soul has lived through every lifetime. So every emotion, that's every lie. And like I say, it's love that you experience both now and before, because it all feels as though life repeats itself some way, somehow. And this all, what does it do? It carry a past life memory. Because why? You think that, oh, I found new love. And you might be in a relationship where it feels like this is something that you've known before. You feel like the experience is something that you've dealt with before. So what does it feel? Because you could get into a moment where you start thinking that everything is the whole same old two-step. You're not surprised. And you may feel that, you may feel a void. You may feel that it's boring in your relationship because the love seems the same. From person to person, you haven't reached anything new. So it could be a past life experience. Shout out to Ronnie Boo. Welcome. What's going on? Pisces gang. We in the building. And see, when it comes to the emotion, every lie, people tell a lie to a Pisces, it's almost like you heard that before. Like, and then you start asking yourself, like, is this just the same way that people are going to lie for a lifetime? Because I've heard this before. And nothing surprises you. When somebody betrays you, it's the same way. It's done the same exact way. As if they were practicing. It's like, is this the only way that people lie? This is going to just keep on going because it feels as though you remember it from somewhere before. Now, when it comes to the meaning of past lives, for a Pisces, well, it's when you start feeling older than you are. That's how you know that's the sign of the past lives for Pisces. You realize that, man, I feel like an old soul. Why does all this stuff around me seem familiar? It doesn't seem new. It doesn't seem like the same battles from betrayal to betrayal. It all feels like it's something that happened in the past. Nothing feels like it just happened. So that's when you start feeling older than you are, and that's how you know that's related to past lives of Pisces. Now, when it comes to certain people treat you the same way. They don't treat you for your age. They treat you as though you're older. They expect more from you. See, and it's like you wonder why you're always given an assignment that seems like, oh, you're held accountable if something goes wrong. And you like, wait a minute, I've only been here for what? A month. Why am I given so much responsibility so soon? Because it's almost like you've been here before. People expect much from you because your intuition's so strong. So you always in these extreme moments where it's like, wow, I guess I was the man that they chose. I guess I was the woman they chose for the job. I didn't even get a full training. But then you start feeling like as though you've already been trained for it. Before you were born, this was always something destined. This was your purpose. Now you just walking in it, but it seems easy. It seems easier than a person that could have got trained over a month or over a year, where you do it and it's almost like it's just easy, like you was born to do it. That's the past lives. Now, when it comes to, and it could be relationships, it could feel as though you get into a marriage and then you could be the type of person, both male and female, that seems to get married very, very quickly. Where other people, it might take them, what, 4 years, 10 years. But when you meet somebody, automatically, it's like this person is your soulmate. It's like they've chosen you to get married, and it can only be like 2 years of getting to know them. And then all of a sudden, you could pop, if you're a female Pisces, you could pop 3 kids, 3 babies, like it's nothing. To somebody else, it's like it was hard, or, whatever. Maybe the person's health or anything, or just wasn't the time. But for you, it seems like it just pops, it just happens for you. That's because the past life. Now you see, like, okay, something in the past happened to where now this is my purpose. And hey, that's why you always, like when they say you have so much wisdom, Pisces, that a lot of people will look at your baby mama. They might say, oh, she's not the best looking woman in the world, but she take care of the kids the best. They might say, oh, she take care of the kids the best. And you need that, because why? They last for a lifetime. And then when the kids get older, it say, yeah, your mom was a good parent based on how you raised, and what? People remember that, even if they're grown. See? So that's why it's like too much is given. It's like you're more responsible, because it's like once you reach this mastery level of your emotions, then it's almost like every emotion that's tied to something, it always means something. It's always like, wow, these lies seem to be very, very easily to detect. It's almost like everything becomes second nature. Now, when it comes to how each zodiac sign lies, see, everybody knows that every zodiac sign has their favorite disguise. So it tends to reveal itself easier to a Pisces. Why? Because Pisces is a karmic sign, and these are karmic lessons. So you carry on all the traits of all the zodiac signs before you. See? And therefore, the karmic lessons from the detriment from each sign is why this happens. And the mask that they wear is weak. It doesn't really cover anything. It's just for you to just see through it and know that it's a mask for what it is. It's not that hard, because you've seen it before. See? And then on top of that, you reveal the karmic lessons. That's why there's no mask. That's just an illusion that they're wearing a mask, but they're really not wearing anything. See, you have to be strong in vision. When a person cross your path, you should have a laser focus that cuts through the human experience to see deep within the spiritualness of that person's walk. That's how you determine if a person's weak, because if they're living the life as though they were actually living in it, that's an illusion. They're actually a spiritual being behind the human body. But see, you got to treat them as such. You can't treat them as, oh, he's just human, she's just human. You can't treat them as you see it, because let me tell you something. Your eyes are the gateways to your soul. But here's the thing. That's on the inside. That's subconsciously. But on the conscious level of you looking at somebody, your eyes can deceive you. Where you could see a person, and that person could be a demon. See, but you haven't even grasped that of which you can't see. You don't believe it. People don't even know what a demon is. A demon is a spirit. See, you can have a demonic spirit of all the demon names, and you carry that spirit with you, where that spirit is living inside of you. So you could have a strength of a demon from like years and years and years. Let's just say a demon of the Jezebel spirit. If you have a Jezebel spirit, well, you got to ask yourself, what is the root? How did Jezebel come about in the first place? What was her ways? What did she do on earth? See, that was so wicked. And you see today that it's millions of legions of demons operating with that same spirit. See? And I'm going to tell you, it ain't just females that can be Jezebel spirits. Men can be Jezebel spirits as well. How do you know that? And that's what I'm saying. You gotta identify from what you see, not with the flesh eye. You have to look at it in a spiritual eye. Think of the pyramids, the eye on the back of a dollar bill. You can't just look at that and expect that, oh, the eye on a dollar bill, what does that mean? That means something. See, you see how the illusion is, it's just a dollar bill. Oh, what the heck? We don't really know anything about the symbols. Some people can't even tell a counterfeit from a real dollar bill. They don't know where to look. And that's what I'm saying. It's the same concept when it applies to something you don't know that exists. See? Now, shout out to everybody just came in. What's going on? Palace, Ronnie Boo, what's going on, y'all? Now, here we go. When it comes to which zodiac signs truly love Pisces, and see, you only gonna know this by who imitates the same love that you give. See, that's how you identify yourself within a mate, to know if this person is for you. They're gonna have the same energy. It might not be exactly the same, but it's going to resonate. It's just like you speaking the same language as a person, and y'all both speak different language. You were raised with different languages. So now when you talk to that person, they understand you. See, that's how you know that person is for you, because they get you as you are. There's nothing added onto it. There's no conditioning. There's no manipulation. There's no fighting, no arguing. This person is for you. See? So it's like they speak more like you, and you can see yourself in them. They can see themselves in you. See? And it happens naturally. It's not like, oh, I had to do something. I had something going on. I had a good job. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Now, here's the thing. We're going to talk about the two signs. Pisces, you got to watch out for these signs. Right now, in this month, these terrible tools, you got to watch these. In this year, I predict right now, in this year, you got to watch two signs that's not good for Pisces. Virgo and Aquarius, terrible tools. Virgo and Aquarius, in any type of situation, you have to be on guard as a Pisces, because these people that have these signs, they bring on red flags without even trying to a Pisces. Now, when you look at why, now look at the world. You are in the world living. The world is constantly spinning. We don't get to see that, but it's there. Naturally, naturally, we are going to be judged, not just when we pass away, but we're going to be judged daily. Isn't that criticism? There's something with criticism. It's like a drain of a well that just keeps running and running, and there's no way to cut it off. It just keeps going, right? So no matter if you're doing bad, people are going to criticize you. If you're doing good, people are going to criticize you. No matter what you do, there will always be criticism. If you make too much money, you're going to be criticized. If you're broke, you're going to be criticized. If you look good, you're going to be criticized. If you're ugly, you're going to be criticized. There's no way to escape it. See? Now, think about that. Now, think about a Virgo. This person does the criticism daily, inside out. They can't help it. It comes with them. So, think about that. Hold that thought. Now, Aquarius, the same way. Aquarius sees the power of a person. It could just be your sternness, your stoicism. It could be something about you that just holds confidence that threatens the Aquarius. Aquarius will try to put that doubt in your mind that you are not that confident as you carry yourself as. They will test you, put you in all kind of boxes and different ways to get you to see your weaknesses and then carry it out. Now, here's the thing. With Aquarius, you have to know that Aquarius is the spirit shooter, no matter what age they are. They are there to kill your spirit. So they do not want you to be better than them. Now, here's the thing. What criticism and detachment, what it really do to a water soul, see, is to drain you. That's cold-blooded. To drain you, think about the water that goes down a drain. What life would it have or to live for without no soul, purpose? So Virgo is there to criticize you, to get you off your purpose. Aquarius is there to get you off your purpose, to not know your strengths when you're a water soul. Cold-blooded. Almost like they will talk you out of it. Being friends with them, being in a relationship with them, they will talk you out of your goals. As a water sign, they can. Because you have to see your strength, and you have to take a stand when you're dealing with Aquarius. Now we're going to talk about, why is this? From victims to villains. From victims to villains. Well, when you encounter Aquarius, you oftentimes will see the disrespect, no filter. Almost as if this person was destined, sent from wherever to stop you in this life. But we think that it's just a body. That's why I say it's Decepticons, it's Archons, people that are sent, these spirit forms that's taken as a human body come after us. And it's almost like, why would this person question my purpose? Isn't that for me? But why is it for this person to know? They already know. See, they're just there to stop you. Talk you out of the goal, the dream that you had, so it don't happen. That you die before you even see the fruits of your labor or what could have happened. See? That's why you're never supposed to tell these two signs anything or what you're up to, what you're gonna do, what you're thinking about, what you're dreaming about, or what anything that you already have. It's none of their business. Don't even let them manipulate that information out of you, because they're good at it. Now, here's the thing. How do you detect this energy when it shifts? You have to catch it early. The energy will always shift when you're up against an Aquarius. See, when you're a Pisces, you are a feeler. You feel things. You could tell if a cup is cold with the soul in it. You could see if the soul is actually of good. Is this cup cold or is this cup hot? Because you are a feeler. Then if you get a mixed, if you check the temperature of those both particular things and you mix them, now it draws confusion. See, now you got to see, oh, it's cold and it's hot, so it's lukewarm. The energy is not flowing the way that it would flow, that it should flow naturally. Ask yourself, who is trying to stop the flow? In that moment, think about that. Aquarius and Virgo. Now, here's the thing. The first signs that you're going to know when that energy shifts is you're going to know is that your intuition is going to tell you. It's going to warn you ASAP, as soon as it happens. Almost as if a storm is coming. Hey, man, this ain't the people you need to be hitting. You got to get the hell away from these people. This person is disrespectful. Get away from them. This person has no idea what they're talking about, and do not listen to this person. Get away from them. You have to get away from them. Now, here's the thing. When we look at signs like with Libra, remember I was saying about Libra. Did you know that Libra secretly annoys Pisces by nature? Annoys. See, it's almost like that wasp flying around. You get real close to you because it may smell something sweet. That's charm, because why? It lures you in, but if you get stung, you're just totally thrown off because you didn't start it. See, something pulled you in to make it seem as though, oh, it's a wasp, but hey, what is it doing around me? What does it want from me? It might be a cup of Kool-Aid, something near you. But then it's almost like the bee comes around you, fucks with you, because it wants what you got. So it's almost like it's manipulating you to be afraid of it, to give up that soda, to give up something. Based off of your fear is what you give that Libra. See? Because they challenge you. And that's the thing. When a person challenges you, you're supposed to not say anything. You're not supposed to say anything. Because you can't give a person a reason from which they're fighting for. And you know, a lot of times a person, they're motivated by a reason. Whether to stop you because you're doing too much, you're doing too good. See, they don't want you to know that. Now, here's the thing. The balance goes against the boundlessness, okay? So when everything is balanced, you're able to flow freely and you can speak freely because there's nothing there holding you back. So when you keep it real, there's nothing stopping you to say, hey, you should lie, or hey, you should just try to manipulate or gaslight the situation to work in your favor. So where there's balance, what is there? Control. See, that's why Libras naturally annoy Pisces, is because they want control over any real connection with that Pisces. They just want to control everything with Pisces. And Pisces can feel it. Now, when a Pisces flips into the opposite polarity, when we look at how and when that inner Virgo within a Pisces takes control for good or for chaos. See? So the very thing that we inflict that pulls from our opposite polarity of Virgo, that should tell you something. Just how destructive it is being influenced by Mercury. You do know that's the worst form of chaos is from Mercury. Saturn doesn't do it because what? That's all about restrictions. There's nothing happening with restrictions when Mercury's there. Mercury doesn't see anything in its way or is in its path. It destroys and asks questions later. So if there's casualties, if anything happens, oh well, you end up hurting someone that actually meant something, had purpose in this life. Oh well, I didn't know. See how that is? I didn't know. And that's how Virgo and Aquarius responds to the things that they start, that they don't finish. I didn't know. Well, he didn't say anything. He didn't see. They play on your intellect. So if you don't do something, they blame you. It's your fault. That's why I said from victims to villains. See, if you're the victim, there's a high chance that you will become the villain. For reckoning, to set the record straight, or to prove yourself. You become the villain because you want to prove yourself and make a point. But there is no point. Where there's no understanding and there's no respect, there's no point to make. You have to leave the situation. You have to escape. See, what you're known for, you have to use that as a gift, not a curse. Now, when it comes to understand this, every sign lies to survive. See, but here's the thing. Pisces feels the lie. It vibrates. See, it's almost like Pisces feels the phone without knowing that it's a phone because it vibrates. That's how easy a Pisces detect a lie. Every sign lies to survive. Now, when a Pisces feels that lie, before the words why are spoken. So we just feel that vibration on that phone. We feel it going off before we answer. Why is that? Because before it's spoken, before words are even spoken of, Pisces already knows this person is lying. If you detect that a person is lying, what is that? Your intuition. It's not for you to see that it was a phone that was vibrating. You don't ask questions. See, you find out. See, once you get it, you get the answer right away, Pisces. Where others, they attack first and ask questions. You're not asking no questions because you knew already. See? So it's over with at that very point. There is no after words. Get it? After words. Now, when it comes to the next thing. So basically, when I said the past lives, you've lived this before. You've been through it. That's why it sounds so familiar to you, Pisces. And see, you may say to yourself, oh, is this deja vu? No, it's your soul remembering what happened. See? And you see that when you are in that situation, you know exactly what to do. But something within you is like, wait a minute. I can end this right now and move on to something better. But you have to listen to the intuition, because the lesson is, if you don't, you will be sucked into that illusion. And you will reap that karmic lesson that was for the enemy. See, we are supposed to learn from our enemies. We're not supposed to run from our enemies. We're supposed to when they get in our face, we're supposed to face them, not with fear. We're supposed to learn. We're supposed to learn from our enemies. Why? Because we learn our purpose. If you're fighting me for something that I'm doing, that means I'm supposed to do it, right? Where there's resistance, that's where peace is. So when you learn from your enemies, it's not about fear. See, if you're afraid, that's projection. You're afraid of yourself succeeding. It's not about survival. You're afraid to succeed from which you came because it's comfortable. Why buy a new couch when I'm fine? That's pride. Why would I buy a new couch when I got one already, but it's old? Why not get into something new? And what would the outcome be? For a change. Adapt. See, when you adapt the power in adapting as a Pisces would allow you to become that situation, that experience. See, for others to what? To know. For a better cause. Now, when it comes to which sign feels your past life? Which zodiac sign feels your past life connection, Pisces? Which sign? Now, you could say Scorpio, you could say Cancer, you could say Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. In the chat, which one do you think it is? Now, we're going to talk about another thing to add on that past life situation is the fact that as a Pisces, you are the final incarnation. So you're reflecting back on the past. You're reflecting back. And you wonder why your enemies use deflection. Because they don't want to take accountability for their actions. In this life, you already know what they've done already. See? So that's why when it comes to people not taking responsibility of how they treated you, and you say, oh, I don't trust you anymore, because why? You showed me who you are. You showed me who you really are, so I'm not giving you any trust. It ends there, see? So that cycle no longer repeats itself, and then what does that introduce? The karmic lesson. That you need to stop being untrustworthy or whatever it may be. But see how people use deflection against you, Pisces, because listen, they know that you catch on very quickly to vibrations. So if they use deflection, what does that mean? They're trying to put the light right back on you. just to hide the accountability. They don't want you to know that they're guilty. See? So that's the thing. Deflection doesn't work though, because when you know that, why is it used? See, you learn from your enemies. You learn that deflection is because I'm reflecting. See, you know the pain of which one feels. They try to hit you the same way. It hurt them, but you wouldn't feel any hurt because it's not about you. It's about them. The karmic lesson. See, and if you know why your enemy is reacting, it's because it's the truth. They're reacting to what you're saying, what you're doing, like it already happened before. Do you know that's the reason why people keep doing the same damn thing? And expecting different results? That's insanity. Didn't Albert Einstein say that in his theory? A person that keeps doing the same old thing, expecting different results, is insanity. So that tells you, that's more reason to tell you that people live their lives thinking that something's going to change. So they fall for the illusion, see, of thinking they're right. That's the ego. See, now, the thing about it is, knowing that Pisces is the final incarnation, what does that mean? We are the keepers of memory. That's why you could be a Pisces and remember something that happened when you was 2. You could remember back so far that what was the meal you guys had on your birthday? Hot dogs and baked beans. And that could just be as clear as day, where other people will be like, damn, how do you remember that so far away or so long ago? Because you will realize that, hey, it'll feel like it just happened. You can't forget. Now, when it comes to the signs in the dream, see, that's another thing. With the signs in the dream, they reveal clues. What are those clues? Unfinished karma. And they let you know, that's confirmation that those people that did you wrong, they haven't got off the hook. They have not got off the hook with what they did. Them dreams you have and them nightmares, that's for the enemies. See, now here's the thing. Why does Pisces attract souls from the past lives in the first place? It's for closure. See, but we are supposed to close the door and not open it no more. See, that when you forgive, that doesn't mean that, hey, leave the door unlocked. Leave the door open for them to come right back. Or you forgive too easily to where they do something and you let them in right back. It's as if they did nothing. But what you're supposed to do is forgive and say, yeah, I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you, but I'm locking this door. You can't come back. See? Because why? Losing you, as a Pisces, you're going to feel that forever. You're going to feel that. You're going to constantly remember that experience like it just happened. See? So even if you're 20 years later, you're still thinking about that Pisces that hurt you when you were in 5th grade. As though it just happened. See? Because you are a walking reflection. A Pisces leave you in a state of mind of you being stubborn, that you haven't changed your life. That would become your past life until you change, until you adapt to a new way of living. That's why people get left at that same state of mind. Well, I just can't get over it. The fact that Pisces did me so wrong, told me about myself and told me about grandma and such and how they left me in the cold and nobody would come get me. And it's like, oh, you still on that? like it just happened. See? Because it's the feeling that a person feels that they get a taste of what that intuition, what it does. See? They get a feel, because if you feel like something just happened, that would feel as though, oh, you didn't forgot about time. See, you done forgot about time. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to, the instant trust, see, I just mentioned that when it comes to the instant trust, and when it, like I say, those deja vu connections, these are examples. So, of the past lives. You don't know why you trust that person and you just met them, because you may have met them in the past life. And all of a sudden you trust this person. Even other people are saying, hey man, slow down, bro. You just met that person. Oh, well, we're going to go bowling Friday. Whoa, like you just met this person. Well, they seem cool. They haven't gave me a reason to not trust them, right? That's a story that could turn into a lesson or a karmic lesson. That friendship, how it goes, could be that person that they could be a part of your purpose that already happened. See? I'm gonna tell you how true this is. You notice that there's people in this life that get their driver's license. And there's some people out there that still fail that test to this day. No matter how much training they get, they take it over, fail, pass. It just keeps going to where some people just can't grasp it. Some people go to school and they just can't graduate. They fail the test, they get the tutoring, they still fail. What does that mean? Does that mean that this person is illiterate? No. This means that it's not supposed to happen. That's not what that person should be doing. That's why it's not working. So you get to fighting against your purpose when you do something and it's not working. That relationship, how many times do you have to see that it's not going to work? It's insanity. You trying to force it. Oh man, I want to marry this woman. Or you a woman saying you want to marry this man and you forcing it, trying to make it happen. And then she cheats on you and the shit ends before it even started. As if it just happened or that it happened already. And you start feeling cheated. You start feeling that though life got the best of you because it wasn't supposed to happen in the first place. That should tell you something. This person behaved in such a way that was almost predictable, where their movements happened so fast that it was almost like this person was sent to just leave you, to let you know the karmic lesson of what? Take your time, slow down. Now, when each sign lies to you, I'm going to tell you why. I'm telling you now, this is a sauce. You got to ask yourself the arsenal of weaponry when it comes to emotions, and why do people lie in the first place? There's different levels to lying. You have your typical lie, then you got the ones that are hard to figure out, to find out and detect, right? But here's the thing. The typical lie coming from an Aries is what? I'm fine. I don't need no one's help. I'll do it. Without any type of realistic thing that you can actually see them to actually carry it out. But why is this happening? Because that Aries is carrying ego and pride. This is why they're saying I'm fine and they don't need your help. But they need your help though, see? Do you see now what I'm saying? Didn't I say the illusion always outweighs the facade? The illusion always outweighs the lie. See? Because subconsciously, you know it's the ego and the pride of which they lie. The lie is a cover-up from you seeing the truth and actually what really is happening. But you see how you can't see it? You have to feel it. That is ego and pride. Can you see ego and pride? No. See, that lets you know there's subconscious. See, your subconscious is everything of your secrets, and everything that's the real you is in your subconscious and in their subconscious. So subconsciously, you have to apply the subconscious over what's being said, because words are worth nothing. This is why you have to know what ego and pride, what is it? What does it look like? Because it doesn't have a face. It has an emotion. The cold-blooded, man. So that's how Pisces knows when you're operating out of your ego. Cold-blooded. Because Pisces is tied to all emotions of which one feels. Compassion is the ultimate emotion. It's over love. Compassion is me still treating you nicely or friendly and you don't deserve it. That's compassion. It goes over love. Love, it feels almost conditional. Oh, I love you because you cook good meals for me. It's always a subconscious reason why you love that person. But you see how love blinds and it lies? Because you're not telling the person the real reason why you love them. It might not have anything to do with them. You just love the way that person make you feel. See? What does that look like? It doesn't have a face, right? Because it's on a subconscious level, see? That's why love deceives you, because if you go by what you feel or how you feel, it can deceive you. Because the enemy makes you feel good too before the snake bites. It makes you feel like it's all smooth and cool. You let your guard down and that snake bites you. See? So you cannot even choose a partner based off of how they make you feel. Because words, they mean nothing. It doesn't cost anything to lie. See? It does more wasting of a person's time than anything. It is a smokescreen. See? Because that person is trying to put up that facade. And see, the illusion, you get caught up in the illusion of thinking that, oh, this person loves me. Oh, this person is truthful because they talk fluently. No. Now, when it comes to the Taurus, see, when the Taurus is telling that typical lie, it's going to be that silent avoidance. See, that's that typical lie you got to watch. Remember, the smoke screen, it hides what's really happening. If a person is telling a lie, 9 times out of 10, it could be for curiosity. It could be fear of loss. It could be ego and pride. It could be validation. See how it covers up what's really going on. See? So what does that tell you? Everybody has illusions. See? That's why Pisces can see through every illusion of which one puts up. Can't hide. See? Because Pisces, when they're talking to you, they're looking for that. Subconsciously, they're looking at the truth. And they're bringing it to surface. See, it's not to hurt you. It's for you to embrace it. To being yourself is powerful in being yourself. Not who you try to portray yourself to be. Because Pisces is almost like they see through the picture. And they can see the story behind the image. Or what makes the image. So if you hiding something, the Pisces is going to get to the bottom of it naturally. Now, when it comes to Gemini, when they tell a typical lie, this is going to come out as wordplay. And they'll talk more than what one person probably would even beg for it. They will keep talking over and over and over. And then that's how you know they're doing the little wordplay games, because they're telling a typical lie. Why? To hide their curiosity. See? And it's like, wow, why can't you just say you're just curious? Is why you asking all these questions. They're not going to do that. See? Because it covers up insecurities. Lies cover up insecurities. Some that you feel that, hey, you don't want nobody to know your secrets, your deep, darkest secrets. But here's the thing. Your deep, darkest secrets are the truth of you. See? What's hidden inside of your belly, isn't that where the intuition lives? That's where you get all the answers. Oh, okay. That's where you get all the answers, right? So when people have all these secrets, they store it in the subconscious. See, they store it inside, deep down in their belly. And they think that it's actually hidden in that place. See? And that's why people, when you really get to the bottom of things, I'm telling you, they will drop that mask once they know that you know they're wearing it. See? Because that's the thing. You can't hide from somebody that knows what you're doing when you're doing it. Now, the next thing is the fact that when you're dealing with Cancer, to know they're doing a typical lie or telling a typical lie, there's going to be an emotional twist to their story. And see, when it comes to this, why would a Cancer do this is what? To protect themselves. See? Because you got to understand how vulnerable. See, a Cancer knows that they're ultimately vulnerable. And suspect, just the way that they talk, they're just open. See? So they could easily just let the wrong person inside their emotional realm. And see, once you know how to, see, if you give a person all your emotions, that's like you taking off your coat in the rain and saying, here, take my coat so I can just get soaking wet. And then all of a sudden, now this person knows, they know your temperature. See, they know, oh, you'll just take off your coat. You'll just do this and this. And that's just leaving yourself open to get what? Hurt. So this is why Cancer would tell that typical lie, apply the emotional twist to protect themselves. See how people use a lie as a shield. See, that information of which they're hiding, they feel as though it's worth something. They feel that's worth more than the shield that they put up. That information about them, they feel as though no one should know the truth. See? And that's the thing. The truth always outweighs a facade. It always outweighs a lie. See? Now here's the thing. Because the truth, you can't go back on it. You can't trade it. You can't do an exchange. It's the truth. It speaks for itself. Some people, that's the hardest, most intimidating thing to do, is to just tell the truth. Keep it 100. Because when you don't, guess what happens? You feel guilty. You feel guilty, and that's the number one sign people watch for when somebody's lying. Because you're holding that shield up because you're insecure. You're holding that shield up hoping that this person doesn't find out your truth. So you get nervous. Your body reacts to it. Because your body is moving off that thought. You have to be careful how you think, because your thoughts run your life. Whatever you think is going to happen, it's already foreseen already. It's all, see, it happened already. You got to understand that it happened already as you envisioned it. Everything happens how you thought it was going to happen. It happens with you first because you saw it coming. People say it. What do people do? Oh man, I got a feeling that if everybody finds my secret out, oh man, I'm gonna get fired. My wife's gonna leave me. I can't tell her this. And all of a sudden, what happens? She finds out. And she leaves you the same way that you saw it. Now, when it comes to see, there's a lot of gang stalking going on. You know, it's funny when you could be in a private parking lot. It never fails. People just start flocking, coming to you, and just random people pulling up and talking and dropping. It's like, this is a private public parking. Most of these stores are closed. Where did these people just come out of nowhere? See, that didn't just happen. See, that's the stuff. It's a distraction. Now here, when it comes to, okay, so the next sign we're talking about is Leo. The typical lie that Leos would do is the fact that they exaggerate. See, with Leo, listen, that with Leos, why they exaggerate as well is to influence you. See, to keep paying attention. The more they exaggerate, the more tuned in you are to what they're saying. That keeps your attention. So what does it do for you? It keeps you stuck when you're talking with them, because they're trying to hold your attention to their performance. It's very difficult to break away in conversation with the Leo. Now, what are they protecting? Validation. See? Telling a story, thinking it's so great and so, oh, you got to hear this. So that way it keeps you from giving them, oh yeah, trying to give them your 2 cents or your suggestion or, hey, your opinion. See how it's almost like, oh, I'm trying to play basketball and you're trying to block the shot. See how that shield is up? And people do that smoke screen. These are just smoke screen, typical lies to keep you from seeing the truth. Remember, to gauge and to know when you're dealing with someone or when you're dealing with someone's illusions, there will always be a distraction that you see first before the truth comes out. You will always see the distraction first, which is the shield. I'm gonna do a video and I'm gonna draw it out and show you the illusion is almost like a bubble. And in front of the illusion, because that bubble is soft, it's easy to pop it, to bruise it, to step on it, to touch on it. It's sensitive there. See? If you got something inside that soft bubble, what's going to be on the outward side? It's like chocolate with the soft stuff in the middle. All that ego is going to cover that sensitive side. The sensitive side, when you talk to someone and they get sensitive, oh, what are you talking about? Who the hell are you talking to? They're trying to hold on to that soft bubble, see? Because that truth is very vulnerable there, see? Because hardly anyone gets to see that side, that truth. People don't feel comfortable you knowing the truth because that's where the vulnerability is. So some people that don't allow themselves to be vulnerable with you, they try to put on that hardcore shell, lets you know just how fake that person is. Because they want you to be distracted. They want you to be far from the truth. See? It's all that arguing and everything is just pride and ego. Because if it gets too quiet, guess what? That truth's coming out. Because Pisces, you are the hook. See? You are the hook, and that hook, it attracts bait. And people think that, oh, it's comfortable here. I don't need a raincoat. There's no need for a shield because I feel as though I'm sitting with myself. So it's no need to deflect because I can see the sun behind me. So I could tell my truth to the Pisces in this hypnotic state. And then Pisces, once they hear you tell that truth, they snatch it. They pop that bubble. Then you try to go back to it once you came so far, you realize that, oh, I messed up. I done told this Pisces my life story, how I cheated on my wife and how I left my kids at the baseball game to go to do something else that was malicious or wicked. And it's like, a Pisces is like, yo, man, that's rough, man. That's cold-blooded. Why did you do that to your wife? Were you feeling some type of way? And then people get mad, see tables turn. They can't go back. Once that illusion draws that facade, Pisces knows your truth. There's no running back. There's no changing the story. There's no rewriting it. Now Pisces knows your truth, knows you, not by what you show the Pisces. They know you, see? So that way it's like, no, a Pisces will always bring you right back to, see, you know the truth, so that's why you're right there. That's why people hate you subconsciously. Because they do not want to give you the credit that you exposed me. They thinking that you did some secret black magic or some type of magic trick or some type of magician work to get that out of them. They feel manipulated emotionally. You didn't do anything. They emotionally manipulated themselves into thinking something, which what is that? When you assume what? You make an ass out of you. See? Because you assume that, oh, everything was all good and I had the floor and hey. That's why I say people treat Pisces as a substance. They get addicted. They treat us like a bottle of Henny. They treat us like a bottle of Dundada, or whatever it is. And then once they get drunk, they slip up and tell us too much information. Let me tell you a secret. Why that is. They tell you the information because you feel familiar to them. They feel as though that you were in that same situation, as though it was a ghost. People tell you their truths, their dramas, traumas, anything that happened that you shouldn't know, as if you were there with them. That's cold-blooded. So that almost is like what? If you're trying to be redeemed, what will make you that comfortable with that Pisces? See? Because what just happened, it was supposed to happen. They come to you to what? Change. See? For healing. Because why? They know that you're the one that they need to come to for that healing. But you got to ask yourself, who told you that? See? What do people say? I just feel like hey, someone just told me to come to you. I don't know. Someone just told me, hey, I needed to come to you. Past lives. See? Now, when it comes to, when it comes to Virgo, as we know, when Virgo tells a typical lie, what is it going to come out as? Over logic. See? It's done overboard. It's overkill. See? Now, what is this done to? To protect what? Control. See? Because they want to appear as though they're perfect, as if they know all the answers. Now, when it comes to Libra, what type of typical lie would they give? Oftentimes it would be what? Polite dishonesty. Being dishonest and being polite at the same time. Now, what is this going to do? This is to protect their harmony. Its diplomacy is not done the same way that the harmony you're thinking about. They have their own way of what harmony is for them. See? Now do you see the charm? Now do you see the deception? You can't go by what you see, because everything you hear means something different to a Libra. It's almost like what charm may mean to you has a different meaning for them. You thinking that, oh, it applies to me. No, it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's for them to have harmony. It could be self-inclined. It might not have anything to do with you or why they're being polite. And they know that, and they having that intellect, see, they try to outwit you with the whole mental stimulation, what the mind thinks, with the mind itself. See, remember I said, be careful what you think. Why? Because your thoughts run your life. Now, when it comes to Scorpio, the typical lie that Scorpios oftentimes, tell is what? Those half-truths, those partial truths. What is this done to? To protect their power, okay? It's a power test for them, so they want to protect that. So they give the half-truths to keep you uncertain and off-balanced. So it's almost like you don't really know what's going on. So it almost like you give all the power to them to fix it for you. Now, Sagittarius, the typical lie that Sagittarius would tell is what? Humor to dodge. See? Humor to dodge the truth. It's very hard. Listen, it's very hard to know if somebody is telling the truth if they're always happy. This is why you can't go by your eyes. Your human eye, your naked eye, can't go by that. What moves and laughs, you get caught up in that. That's a facade. You thinking that, oh, they're happy because they look like it. You don't even know that that's a mask or that it could be. We know the saying that, hey, subconsciously, whatever a person projects, see, what they project is the opposite that's happening. That person might cry themselves asleep every night, but when they're around everybody, they're smiling. See, because that's their shield. They don't want you to know just how miserable they are. So they smile to throw you off. Because that smiling, guess what it does? It hides the truth. Because it's a distraction. It's an illusion. Pisces dissolves all boundaries. Pisces knows what you're doing when you're doing it, because guess what a boundary does? It hides insecurity. What would be the point of you trying to secure everything by setting boundaries in the first place? So people don't walk all over you, right? That's why you set the boundary. But your boundaries, they protect insecurities. Oh, I don't really want people at my house because why? Well, I don't clean up. So no one can come over. See? No one can see your truth. So this is why you set a boundary where, hey, nobody can come over. Oh, I don't go on dates because, hey, I don't like the way this looks. You have all these rules because you're insecure. You don't see it. You didn't even give it a chance because you think it already happened. You're getting ahead of yourself by saying, oh, they're going to think my house is nasty. You're saying that, not the other person. You haven't even gave it time to see what happened, to see what would happen. So what would you need to do that for if you already said it? So what I'm saying is that when you do that overthinking stuff, you're hiding something. People begin to ask themselves questions when it comes to your boundaries, especially a Pisces. Not to break the rules, but to see what is it blocking. What is the reality there? Because a Pisces would question and say, wow, why can't anyone come over? You must got something to hide. See how Pisces dissolve your boundaries just by that thought? What is such and such across the street got to hide? He has a fence and he never cuts his grass. Oh, he must don't want nobody walking through his yard. That's intuition. He never cuts his grass because he doesn't want anyone to think to not come there, to not trespass. He has a tall fence because he doesn't want anybody coming near. What is he hiding? See? Because if it was just a true situation, there would be no boundary. You could say, I don't want nobody over, but you don't have to let your grass fucking grow, 5 feet off the ground. You don't have to have a 5-6 foot fence just to say, hey, you could just go get a dog. You don't have to see how if you're just telling the truth, you don't have to have a distraction, a shield, because it doesn't blind everybody. Pisces will know you're hiding something. There's something that in that house that you're doing that you don't want nobody to stumble on. So there's a boundary there because you're protecting something that you feel is worth more than how it looks. You feel that, hey, you feel like, oh, that grass off the ground, and that tall fence, and junk everywhere, you think that that's worth more. See? No, well, it's like you think that is actually a good thing of what you're showing, but it's actually doing the opposite is what I'm trying to say. To correct that. So what you're hiding is what you feel is more valuable than how it looks. See? But because you're so worried about what you're hiding, you end up, the very thing you thought, it works against you. See? Because that's still going to make someone say, hey, you might get a ticket, or hey, they might come out and say, hey, you need to cut your grass. Hey, man, what's going on? What's going on here? Because how it looks. See? Now think about this. What if that would draw attention to yourself? It's the same thing if someone knew your truth. See? Your truth can stink. Your truth can be messy. Your truth can feel like a grass being on tall as hell. It could feel like your truth could be just as stinky as how the way it looks. See, that's why you can't go by what you see, because it looks like, oh, such doesn't cut his grass and he's a 70-year-old man, but what is he doing in that house? Susie Ann can have a mansion out in the boonies, and she has a tall fence that's securing her home, but is that an area of crime? No. So what is she doing in that house? It's just her. What is she doing in that house? For all you know, it could be the worst thing going on in that home, that no one has a freaking rat's that they would never be, put it like this, they'll never be like, oh yeah, she has what? People living down in you know, chained up in her basement. You don't know that. That's why she's guarding the outside, because what? She's hiding something. People will always try to cover up something they're hiding. If she lives in a good neighborhood, why do you have such a tall fence? Oh, hell, put Trump's wall way all outside for what? Who you're trying to keep out? See? Anything that's a barricade, remember this, any type of boundary that's set is protecting someone's insecurity. They're hiding something. It's to keep people out. They didn't make it easy for you to get close to it in the first place. See? When you got dogs that come up to you and it's like, whoa, can't come in this yard. It's a reason why they don't want you cutting through the yard. It ain't just about the grass either. That's the alibi. See, that's the distraction. Oh yeah, don't step on the grass. That's just to keep you out. See, but if a person living in a nice neighborhood, they got a mansion, you will only have to have a reason. See, to box yourself in like that. See, now what I'm saying is you naturally project that illusion. See, when you put that boundary down, you draw an illusion. Because why would Pisces do it? Because they don't want you knowing what, they don't want you getting close to them. So Pisces use the boundary what? To create distance. See? Because Pisces knows their truth. They don't share everything about them to everybody. So the illusion, it keeps the distance. Once a person gets what? They get tired of trying to get to know that Pisces, and that Pisces isn't naturally letting that person get to know them, they leave. So it keeps what? It keeps a Pisces from having to explain. Because Pisces is compassionate and doesn't want to what? Hurt that person emotionally with that information. Now, when it comes to Capricorn, they would tell a typical lie of what? To hide what? To hide the omission, okay? Now, what is this protecting? Their status. See? They do not want people to find out their status. Now, when it comes to Aquarius, the typical lie would be what? Detachment. They left a situation, didn't tell anybody, so they used the detachment. That's that typical lie. You got to watch that. Because why would you separate yourself? There's a reason. Now, what is this to protect? Their vulnerability. It's not about the emotions here. It's not about the emotions. It's about the vulnerability. Because with Aquarius, what is it? What are they known for? Did you know that it's very easily done for Aquarius to open up? This is why they detach, because they get overwhelmed emotionally. See? They get overwhelmed and they detach. Because they don't want people to know them, to really know them and how they feel. That right there, they'll do anything to protect that. So when it comes to Pisces and Pisces, the typical lie for Pisces will be what? To tell a self-lie. See? Keeping that lie to themselves. Telling the self-lie, hey, and what is this to do? Avoid pain. Because you don't know my truth. So, hey, you can't hurt me. Because I keep everything to myself. See? You won't be able to know. You can't hurt somebody if you don't know how to hurt them, see? That's why people guard their emotions so tough, because the emotions, how you feel, is like what? An open wound. If you know what hurts, if you know how a person feel, people will use the same very thing that makes you hurt against you. That's what Scorpio does. See, Scorpio gets deep down in the depths for which one feels. So once they find out how you really feel about things, then they really use that emotion against you as a weapon, see, to hurt you. But they save it, see, because when they feel jealous, or they feel like, oh, you basically outbeat them in something, or hey, you're moving up without them, then they'll use that to sting you, see. Now, the next thing I'll talk about, the signs that truly love Pisces, okay? We're getting back to that question I asked you guys earlier. Now, with Scorpio, it's all about, as I explained, they understand the depth of feelings of which one feels. So this allows them to what? Mirror the darkness safely with Pisces. See? They can give an exchange and tell story to story, and it's almost like that person understands where you're coming from, see? So it's like both of you guys are just swimming and floating, and hey, you guys just can chill. You know, you guys get to know each other. So it's almost like Scorpio understand how you truly feel, Pisces. So in giving exchange, you can understand how Scorpio really feel, see? Because sometimes their darkness becomes their what? Their traumas. And they feel they hold on to it like it just happened. See? And Pisces is there to basically help them let it go. And what? Start a new thing. See? Adapt to something new. Now, Cancer, what? It's known to nurture. So if someone's nurturing you, what? There's not so much drama there. Now, when it comes to Taurus, it's all about grounding. And a lot of times, Taurus can help you turn those fantasies of which you feel into a reality, see? So you're just not dreaming about it. Now, with Virgo, you have to be careful. You have to be careful because Virgos, what? Are tricky when it comes to Pisces, man and female. Virgos are, remember this, they are considered the trickster for a reason. This applies to the healed Virgo and the unhealed. So the unhealed is the one you got to watch, Pisces. But if you're dealing with a healed Virgo, you guys can be the best of friends. And it won't be any issues. But if they're unhealed, this is an animal that you really have to watch. Why? Because what? A healed Virgo can offer a Pisces structure to flow with. See, that can help you become a better Pisces. AKA what? A better person, a better version of yourself. Now, when it comes to the shadow side, which I mentioned, the unhealed Virgo, this is the signs you have to watch, Pisces. Pay attention. You have to pay the very first one that you have to watch. I know what y'all gonna say. Virgo, unhealed. You have to watch this mother sucker. I can't cuss it, but I'm just trying to flush it. So look, when it comes to Virgo, unhealed, this is the person you have to watch that will literally hurt you. Now, I'm going to tell you why. Because they use criticism, they use critique to control you. See? And what does this do? This limits you, Pisces. What does this cut off? It drains your creativity. A Pisces without creativity is a what? A dead fish. Put it like that. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're dealing with an unhealed Virgo, if they critique you and tell you constantly of how you're doing, cutting you down left and right, guess what this is doing to you? This is putting boundaries in your way. They're practically just throwing boundaries at you, and they're making you insecure. But isn't the whole thing with a Pisces is to dissolve all boundaries, to be secure? Virgo does the opposite. They throw the boundaries in your way. Imagine you sitting there playing dodgeball and a Virgo is just sitting there winding and just throwing constantly in autonomy, just throwing freaking boundaries your way. You can't simply sit there and keep dissolving over and over and over and being cut down and criticized over and over and over and over until you lose your mind and you self-inflict, you self-reflect, you self-destruct and forget who you are. Because those boundaries, you're not in your element. You're meant to dissolve all boundaries. Virgo, unhealed, tries to stop that. See? Tries to stop you from dissolving boundaries. Never forget it. Now, when you're dealing with another sign you must watch, from victims to villains, Aquarius, unhealed. Why? Because this individual, AKA, I can't cuss on here, but this individual will use what? Detached logic. What is this going to do? Invalidate your emotions to make you feel of what you feel is not real. See, what this is going to do? Disrupt your partnerships, your connections with people, your relationships. Because why? Detached logic, when it invalidates your emotions, it makes you feel as though you have no real connection with anyone. It makes you feel as though your emotions are your downfall. Cold-blooded. Makes you doubt yourself. Now, that's almost like you saying, oh man, I feel like somebody's going to try to do something. And then all of a sudden, a Aquarius will make you feel like you basically shouldn't be feeling that. Like you're wrong, in other words. Like you're wrong for even feeling in the first place. That's how unhealed Aquarius make you feel. Now, it's danger to that. Because a Pisces, what? Without emotions is what? A dead fish. That's why I said the age of Aquarius is destructive, is self-destructive for any human experience. See? Now, when it comes to the next enemy of which a Pisces should watch, unhealed, Libra. Now, why? Why is this? Because unhealed Libra avoids the truth for what? For what reward? For peace. Not for you, but for them. And see, what is this going to do to a Pisces? It's going to drive a Pisces crazy. Remember, Pisces are the most annoyed by Libra, unhealed. And see, they will drive a Pisces crazy with what? Indecision. A Pisces that can't make a decision, come on, man. What would that make Pisces be? A dead fish. See? So all three of these signs, they pillar of Pisces destiny. They are here to stop you. See? From accomplishing of that which you know to accomplish, what your purpose is. You have to be careful with I'm talking about unhealed, okay? I'll put a disclaimer. I'm not saying the light-sided. I'm saying unhealed, okay? For these three signs. Now, you know You got to ask those. And I know a lot of people want to know why. Why does a Libra why does a Libra annoy Pisces? It's because Libra tries to intellectualize everything. They try to intellectualize the feelings of which a Pisces feels. You can't do that. And see, another thing is that what does the Libra do? That a Pisces cannot stand, because why? Everybody's not going to like you. That's the truth, right? Well, not with a Libra, because a Libra, they flirt with everybody. See, they flirt with everybody. And then what? If you think about this, if you flirt with everybody and you want to be liked by everybody, this means that you are insincere. See? Because this means you'll do anything to be liked. Because what are you doing? You're trying to protect your image of how you look to everybody. So it's no real connection. It's superficial. And it's not the truth. So what this is going to do is a Pisces will sense this. This insincerity. They will see it clear as day. Now, another thing is that Libra, what do they want? They want that balance. But see, a Pisces, what they want is a connection. So both of you want two different things. So this is what? Water versus air. And you guys will not get along for the long term. Now, you got to ask yourself, how does a Pisces detect this energy shift, what we were talking about? And it's pretty much when you get that subtle nausea type of feeling. You may feel dizzy. And a lot of times, this is your aura speaking to you. See? Your aura may be saying to you, Pisces, stop absorbing. See? When that energy shift, you will feel it, because what would it be doing? Working against you. Imagine you sitting at a barbecue. You got invited to, okay? You're outside, and the people outside in the front of which you're sitting, you guys have a conversation. And what they're discussing, you're not feeling it, Pisces. Whatever they're talking about, it's just, you're not feeling it. You don't feel like these people in front of the house have your best interest. And you will pick up on that vibration before anyone else does and say to yourself, why am I here? I probably should go sit in the back, maybe the backyard. All these people up front, it's just some vibe is just off with these people. You pick up on all these cues because what? Your aura is saying to stop absorbing. The energy shifts, you feel it. The energy shifts so bad, it makes you just get up. You sitting down, and you just stand up. And you don't even know why. And then you walk away from that group of people. And they're like, hey, man, what's this dude problem? What's going on? You walk away from them and go sit in the backyard. All of a sudden, you feel calm, peacefulness, as though that energy just let off you. See? Because those people that you were sitting with were no good for you. See? It's instantly when you start to move and you start to feel that energy shift back in place, where you get your peace back again. You're like, whoa. And I just sat in the back, and now I feel different. I feel better. Why when I was sitting up front, I didn't feel right? You start feeling like you want to throw up, or you just get all dizzy all of a sudden, or you get itchy. You start scratching. You start feeling like something is. You know what when that happens, you know what that means? Your intuition is trying to get your attention. You're not scratching because, oh, I'm itching. Your intuition is speaking to you, trying to alert you to pay attention. See? So when your hair stand on your skin, that means something. That's not, oh, I got goosebumps just because. You felt those goosebumps. Why? Because of that foam, that vibration. You're feeling a vibration, a frequency that's not agreeing with yours. When you feel that vibe, when you feel those goosebumps go up your arm like that, it's time for you to pay attention. It's time for you to wake up, Pisces. You might be asleep, and I don't mean physically. I'm talking about subconsciously. You might be asleep. It's until Pisces wakes up and realizes what's really going on subconsciously. Your subconscious is always on. Your subconscious is always running. Few people actually listen to it, see? Because they are so tangibly trying to feel, they're trying to feel what's going on, and that's not how it works. Your subconscious is telling you to leave, to pay attention. It could be an enemy. It could be a hidden enemy among you. And all of a sudden, your phone starts ringing. You hear a doorbell. You hear something that nobody else heard. You hear somebody call your name. And you say, hey, did someone call my name? No, I didn't hear a thing. I didn't hear anything. That was your cue. A distraction. The baby walks past and knocks a cup of juice off the counter. Next you know, everybody's like, oh, you such and such. What are you doing? You need to calm down. That was a distraction. That's for you to pay attention. See? But you got to stop thinking that, oh, she just knocked the glass off the counter. It's nothing. It was an accident. Stop doing that. Sometimes a distraction is for you to wake up to what's really going on. Because you may think that, oh, these people are my friends, and you're going off of what you see. See? But you don't know subconsciously if these are your hidden enemies the whole time. You got to be careful, because these people they come sheep's and wolves clothing. They come on you. They're dressed as though they were your friend, right? They act like they're your friend. But that's the thing. It's an opportune time that is awaiting for your demise. See, there's people that will still become your right-hand man up until an opportune time to strike. See, there's nothing like your right-hand man stabbing you in the back. And you say, wow, I trusted this person. I was never thinking that this would be the one to turn on me. Just why you got to be careful. The subconscious will tell you, this person means you no good. Hey, this is the right person to hang with. Because you never get the awkward vibes. And you can see the deeds, the sacrificial deeds, because it's the same of what you would do. So it matches your energy. Your friend goes to Taco Bell and buys you a meal. You didn't ask for it. That will be something you would do for them. So now your energy is what? It's matched, because you're just like that. So you identify that subconsciously, that that's something that I would do. How does that person know the same thing of what I would do for them? You will see it in the subconscious. It will be a agreement within you to let you know that that's your real friend. This person checked on you and just came to your job, and then they didn't even know your car broke down. And they pulled up and was like, yo, something was just telling me to check on you. Man, you wouldn't even know, man, such and such just happened. Subconscious. See? That's how you know. Your subconscious will tell you that this is your real friend. This is your enemy. Because there will always be a shift in energy when it's not. You do something and then this guy standing in front of you cussing you out. This is an enemy. This is a villain. See? Villains have something to prove with no clarity. There's no reason. There's nothing that happened to create this what? This battle. This confrontation. Why is this happening right now? Because, hey, I'm about to get a new job, or hey, there's a blessing on the way. There's something good finna happen, and this person is the distraction to block me from receiving that. See? Then you have to what? Stay silent so the enemy doesn't know where to strike. You have to say, you got it, big bro, and walk away. Sometimes when you start to get aggressive, then you lose. You end up being the one getting locked up, getting a ticket, getting a record, because you reacted. See? You lose when you react. Somebody calls you out and you feel like you got to prove something, so you're stooping to their frequency. You lost. That doesn't mean you got more work to do. So then what happens? You go through some tests and some trials to run it back. It happens with a different person. Same setup. That song seems familiar. Like the past lives, like I done been through this already. Now I have to perform. Now I have to listen to my intuition to actually experience what? That growth, that transformation. To know that I no longer am controlled by what? That emotion. Because if you react, that means that what? That means that that is challenging what? Your truth. You're trying to put up a boundary because you're insecure about what? Losing. Made fun of. So your ego is still there. Your ego is what? A boundary. Once a person feels defeated, what happens? When they're still in denial that they're right or whatever it is, when they're actually wrong, they're trying to put up what? Another boundary to protect their insecurity. Someone says, hey man, hey, you soft for woo, come out here and fight me like a man. And you say, you know what? You got it, big bro. I'm good, bro. I actually forgive you, man. You know what? I forgive you and you're right. I'm soft. I'm gonna stay up in this store. I'm gonna stay. You got it, bro. You won now. You won. Because you know why? You're in control. Because you didn't let that person emotionally manipulate your energy. See? They couldn't set you off. There was no reaction. You said, you got it, big bro. Hey, I don't want no smoke. You have control. You're calling the rules, the shots, and saying, hey, I'm not fighting you. Because you want a fight from me to what? Disrupt my energy. So I'm not going to fight you. See how you're not giving in to what your enemy wants from you? Because you know it's not worth it. What is the outcome? What is the reward? Nothing. The reward is what? You reacting to some unhealed energy within you. It just shows where you're unhealed. That you have more shadow work to do. You have to work on yourself. When you keep giving in to your ego and you keep trying to put up a fight over nothing, that means you're valuing that other person when you react. You're saying, hey man, I'm afraid. And I'm afraid of you, and hey, I'm gonna fight you because hey, I'm afraid. You're right. And I don't want you getting to I don't want you exposing me because you're already exposed. When you soon as your brain flips and does starts reacting to that dynamic, boom, then you are already lost. Because you don't have anything to prove to anybody. Now, another thing is this. When it comes to the energy shifting, again, you're in a room full of colleagues, staff members at the job. All of a sudden, there's silence right after laughter. That's the energy shifting. That goes like this. If you guys are talking, yeah, man, the Sox versus the Jays, that was a great game, but such and such, he can't pitch for, ish, and then all of a sudden, it's like, ha, yeah, and then all of a sudden, it's just pure silence. What made the energy in that room just flip all of a sudden? Everybody was just laughing and it just got silent. Because that person that laughed really didn't mean that. They're protecting the insecurity, see? If you hold back how you feel, you're hiding the insecurity. When you were supposed to laugh because you knew it was funny and you try to hold it back, even though you want to laugh, but you're trying to look so serious because you do not want this guy that you hate to see you smile. Because you don't want him to think that, oh, I'm your friend, or hey, I like you, or hey, you're hiding the insecurity. See? You're trying to put a boundary, what are you doing? You're reacting. It takes a lot of energy out of you to what? Try to block that smile. See how when your body is telling you to smile, yeah, that was funny, man, laugh. And you like, no. You try to control it and say, hold on, no, I'm not laughing. Even though I know that shit was hilarious, I'm not going to laugh because I don't like this guy. That guy's controlling you emotionally and you don't even know it. He's making you miserable by the day and you're just giving him just free access to your emotions. It's almost saying, hey, man, you own my emotions, man, and hey. And all you're doing is reacting. See, you're reacting to it. He's controlling you, not even trying. Because then guess what? When he projects, you feel naked. See, when he starts laughing, you start thinking it's it. What do? You start thinking he's laughing at you. And he ain't even talking to you. But you're so in tune to his energy that it is reflecting back at you. That's what Pisces does. Pisces doesn't have to fight you. Pisces can just mirror your insecurity right back at you, and it hurts you. It hurts you in such a way that feels like a weapon. But it's more potent because it's on a frequency. Because if you think of this, if somebody punches you, you feel pain, right? You feel pain depending on how hard the punch was. But did you know that an insecurity feels the same way, if not more painful? A breakup feels the same as a punch. That's cold-blooded. So Pisces doesn't even have to do anything physically to you. See? That's why I tell people, like, you can't get into a fight. I say, be careful, don't get in a fight with a Pisces. Because you're not going to fight the fight the same way. See? Pisces not going to fight you in the way that you think they're going to fight you. Fist to fist. And maybe sometimes. Why? Because we got people like what? Floyd Mayweather. And yeah, if that's the type of sport or situation in that aspect, that's different. But I'm saying for the most part, A Pisces is way more advanced than that to be like, oh, doing some simple-minded stuff. They're more creative about it. Now, when it comes to the goosebumps or the chills you feel, this is a spirit confirmation. This is not a coincidence why you feel those goosebumps. Another thing is when this happens, you have to listen immediately. What the intuition is showing you. Because guess what? The intuition is only going to whisper one time. One time. And you're going to hear it. Because you're going to feel it, and it's going to be on 10. You're going to be like, whoa. It's something that's going to be feeling like it's grabbing you, and you're going to be like, whoa, wait, I got to leave. And you just get up and start running. And all of a sudden you hear gunshots like what, 5 to 10 minutes later. But think of a person that didn't listen that one time and heard those gunshots 5, 10 minutes later. Guess what? Now he's shot, laying on the ground, saying, damn, fighting for his life, saying, damn, I knew I should have just left. You're going to get that one time with that intuition. Now, that's because why? The intuition will whisper to you that one time, and then all of a sudden a storm comes. See? So your intuition your intuition is your best friend. It protects you. Protects your life. It's your life force. It's your what? Life jacket. That's why you're able to swim, see? You're able to swim when it's storming, see? You got protection when you didn't even think you had protection. You don't even need a coat. Your intuition is your coat. See? It's your spiritual coat, protect you from everything. See? This is why when your enemies approach, see, you have hidden enemies. Think of this. Think of this. The most powerful thing is you have hidden enemies, not just open enemies. Oh, but isn't the Libra the open enemy? Whoa. Libra is the open enemy. You see how the dynamic it flips from a person that's supposed to be peaceful, peace, joy, and harmony, balanced. But this is an open enemy. Cold-blooded. See, the Libra is the one, the cardinal air sign. People keep forgetting this. Masculine. Don't matter if it's female or male. And it comes out. See, when the mask drops, the charm drops and breaks. The evil, all the evil, tongue twisting, snake-like energy starts to show. But you never saw it though. You never saw it coming. Because you don't know how to read energy. See? Pisces does. Now, when it comes to Pisces, they don't get warnings twice. They don't get warnings twice. Because why? When the tides, when they move, you have to move with it. Because if you don't move with the tide, guess what? Do you even know? What's powerful is you don't even know that the tides don't even know what's in their path. So if you're not moving with it, you're moving against it because you didn't listen to it. See, the intuition will work for you when you actually use it. But the very thing that you disown and you say, nah, I don't need to listen to that voice today. Now you become its enemy. Cold-blooded. Now here's the thing. When Pisces uses the opposite polarity, Virgo, in balance, this is a good thing. Why? Because it keeps you organized. Remember I said, the Virgo, unhealed, throws those boundaries. Well, when you operate out of your opposite polarity, now you have boundaries there. So what kind of boundaries? Discernment. Oh, discernment keeps enemies at bay, right? See, now you can have what? Realistic planning. See, and on top of that, in the shadow now, this is the bad side. From operating out of opposite polarity of Virgo, the bad side is overanalyzing. And you know, when it's applied to Pisces, it's different because it's overanalyzing what? Feelings. Have you ever second guessed yourself or what you felt in a situation, knowing the first time you were right? You said, oh man, I don't really think this person is really being honest with me. And you were right. But then you let that opposite polarity Virgo overanalyze. Well, they did buy me coffee. Oh, and they worked that shift for me the other day when I wanted to go home because my stomach was hurting. So, nah, I think they're good. And then the next day, you get disciplinary for something. Because that same person you thought, because you second guessed it, turned on you. But you were right the first time. But when you second guessed it, you made an excuse for that same person because you overanalyze. Because that's what you do when you overanalyze. You make an excuse for how you feel about it in the first place. Now, when it comes to judging yourself harshly, that's when you catch a Pisces saying, damn, man, I got to get my life together, you know, and it be for something simple. It's like, hey, man, hey, relax. See, and all of a sudden you start feeling like, oh, that you should become a perfectionist. See, you're not perfect, man. Everybody makes mistakes. You cannot win every battle. See, now that's the thing. So here's the thing with all that being said. Pisces doesn't chase enlightenment, you guys. See, they remember it. They remember they were enlightened what? In the past lives. And see, the past lives, what did they teach a Pisces? Empathy. See? Because without empathy, there's no forgiveness. Without feeling where somebody coming from, there's no connection. See? And without any empathy, there's no intuition. Because in order to know that something is so, you have to have it. See, you have to have it. And you can't not operate out of it, because that will be what? Not using boundaries. But this is what will teach you to have those healthy boundaries. It's through the past lives, through that empathy. See? Because unhealthy boundaries, what do? We just discussed it. They're there to what? Hide insecurities. And on top of that, when it comes to a Pisces, knowing that they feel deeply on a deeper level, that's because of empathy. But what the safe thing about empathy is the fact that it doesn't drown you in borrowed emotions, okay? That could be from others, because that's where you feel it the most. You got to know how to separate your emotions from someone else's. Because what ends up happening if you don't, it's going to feel like a flight and you taking on somebody else's luggage. And you might have had what? One bag. Next thing you know, you're leaving with 4. And now you're confused because it's not your emotions. Think of that. When you take on something, when you empathize with someone, you start to absorb, and you probably are not even aware that you're doing so. You absorb so much energy from that person, all of a sudden their bags become your bags. Now your light load feels heavier because you took on something that wasn't yours. So you have to know how to separate your emotion from somebody else's and say, hey man, I'm sorry that happened to you. You know, I pray for you, man, but hey, I know that sucks, man. That's terrible. But don't let it affect your day. Stop letting somebody else's crap or their story affect your day, your night, your week, your month, your year. Just because they told you a bad traumatic story or something bad happened to them or something that person was worried about, cared about, it was just for you to listen to that person, to vent and just say, hey, I know how you feel, man. I went through the same thing. When you empathize, you are supposed to just listen. Listening to a person vent will give that reward of healing. You didn't even have to do anything. You just gave that person a listening ear. And they got healed. Why? Because when you vent, what do? You release that of which is hidden, which is the truth within you. Remember I said the truth hides. And when a person vents, they let go of the boundary that's blocking the truth. That's why Pisces dissolves all boundaries. Because once you let go, what are you saying? That I believe in myself. The true confidence comes from the what? You letting go and showing the truth. And you walking in it. Because once a person sees that, they feel free. Because the whole time the war was, they were trying to protect something, which was just what? The truth. Their truth. Pisces just listens to their truth. And all of a sudden that person feels better. See that? So now I just taught y'all the truth about dissolving all boundaries, what it really means. What does the past lives mean? Now, when it comes to the unhealed Virgo, I want to say this. Just this bonus content. The unhealed Virgo, I'm going to tell y'all why does an unhealed Virgo turn on Pisces? Well, here's the thing. Virgo and Pisces, we know they are opposites, okay? Now, what this means is that they can complete and destroy each other. That's Mrs. Cold-Blooded, man. They can, I'll say it again, they're opposite signs, and also this means that they can complete and destroy each other. Now, Virgo rules analysts, okay? Think of a scientist in order. Now, when it comes to Pisces, what do they rule? Emotions and chaos. Now, when you put these two together, what will they do? They will create what? Magic. But until one stops respecting the other person's rhythm. See? So this is why you gotta watch Virgo, because both of you, it's like both of you are on the rhythm, okay? And then as soon as one stops respecting your rhythm, that's when all chaos breaks through. That's when all hell breaks loose. So it's cool if you and that Virgo are rocking. Hey, it could be a beautiful thing. But if one stops respecting the other one's rhythm, that's when you will see that destruction. See? And that's when you can actually bump heads with a Virgo. You guys get into it. You could have the worst fights with a Virgo. And see, Virgo, they turn when they feel what? They turn on the Pisces when they feel they have lost control. See, And that control could be tied to what? Influence. Because what does a Virgo love? To fix things. What does a Pisces love? To heal things, to heal people. So once you take the control away, you take the influence, then the person starts to what? Disrespect you. See? Because you're not what? Doing it their way, right? Now here's the thing. Virgo can't handle what they can't fix. Mad scientist. Dexter's laboratory. You see that? Now, when a Pisces starts trusting their intuition over logic, guess how the Virgo is going to feel? Insecure, aka threatened. And it's not by a dangerous situation. What is it by? Uncertainty. Cold-blooded, you guys. I'm telling you. Now, the thing about it, I'm going to give you an example. See, a Pisces would say, oh, I just feel like this is right. This is the right thing to do. But you see how there's no theory. There's no theory. Pisces is going by I know because I know because I know, which is belief, which is what? Intuition. Because why? It only has to whisper it one time. The intuition doesn't second guess itself. It speaks one time. So there is, when Pisces say, I just know that this person is going to turn. I just know it. I feel it, whoop-de-woo. And then all of a sudden, the Virgo replies back and says, feelings aren't facts. You're too emotional, bro. You see that? You see that? And it's like, what? I'm too emotional. My intuition told me, whoop-de-woo. I just know I'm right. But you guys it's not going to be a truce. It's not going to be like, okay, you're right. Let's just see how it goes down. It's not going to be like that. Because what'll happen is, from that moment, what? The Virgo will stop partnering with that Pisces. See? And guess what that's going to do? That's going to make that Virgo start correcting that Pisces. They would say, oh, no, you're wrong. How can you say you feel something that didn't happen? You're going off your emotions. They would start trying to be that teacher, that substitute teacher, trying to tell you different from what your teacher told you. Try to change it. Hey, no, you're wrong. And no, that's not so. And that's not realistic, or that's not logic. And hey, you're crazy. And see, that energy shift, when you feel that, that is a warning for Pisces. Anybody that tells you your intuition is false, is wrong, that's the villain. See, the archetype of which a Pisces, from victim to the opposite polarity, Virgo, villain. See, the hardest thing is for you to know whether that Virgo is the villain. Because what does a villain do? A villain tries to correct you. The villain has something to prove that's already been done. The villain doesn't listen to the whisper. They don't listen to the truth. The villain has an agenda, hidden motive. It's far from the truth. The villain criticizes to keep you what? Second guessing yourself. Every villain of anything has always had the same hidden motives. Never taking what? Accountability for their actions. Now, when it comes to another thing with the energy shift, see, when a Virgo begins saying, oh, you always do this. They're criticizing. No, but you have a reputation for being tardy. So I don't know if I want to trust you with more hours. See that? In other words, trying to stop you and being very passive aggressive with it. See, not even telling you no, but trying to criticize your efforts. And on top of that, a Virgo may say, oh, instead, now they're going into suggestion, oh, that we should work on getting you here on time first before you even think about picking up any hours. So now they're trying to fix you and tell you what to do. Control. Now, it's the start of what? It's the start of withdrawal. Why? Of what? Withdrawal disguised as what? Helpfulness. See, that's dangerous because a Virgo, you would think they're trying to help you and they're hurting you. And their approach is so harsh that it's not even love. It's not compassion. It's nothing related to emotions. Putting themselves in the judgment seat of how they look at life, how they look at what should be done. Not what's best for you in your life. They try to correct you of how they see you. See that? Now, the thing about it is, why would a Virgo criticize you like this? To what did I say in the beginning? They'll do this criticizing to what? Protect their control. Now, at first, like I say, a Virgo may criticize you what? To help you at first, right? But then all of a sudden, they want to refine it. They want to refine it in the most rawest form. See? They try to see how Pisces tries to heal you to make you what? A better version of yourself, right? Where the opposite polarity of when it comes to Virgo, what do they want? To refine you. See? They want to refine what's raw and they want to fix you into their liking. See? And that liking is what? Controlling you. See? Now, but this is the thing. When Pisces doesn't change fast enough to a Virgo's liking, guess what happens? This is when the tone hardens. This is when it gets super wicked. This is when the tongue, it becomes prudeness. It's like, just becomes a sadism of just, oh, I don't give a F for how it sounds. According to how you feel, that all goes out the window because what? They will weaponize precision. See? How they deliver it. And they want it to hurt. They want it to sound rude. They want it to sound disrespectful. See? To protect that control. That's cold-blooded. Now, an example of this would be like, oh, a Virgo, they would say, oh, I'm only just being honest. I know you heard that one before from a Virgo that's been cutting up, criticizing and chopping up and screwing it. Oh, I'm just being honest. No, you're not. And see, another thing, Pisces will say, whoa, man. I heard you already. You know, you told me, yeah, I'm late every day. Okay, I'll work on it. But then a Pisces will say, you know, at the same time you telling me I'm tired, you know you're hurting me, right? You're hurting me when you're saying it like that. You know, I heard enough. But then a Virgo will say, oh, you're too sensitive. See? So you're not sorry, and then you're trying to constantly throw the boundaries in my face. See? So they're trying to what? Like the Fantastic Four, the dude that's like the brick dude, just constantly just barricading you with all these boundaries so that you can't move freely or have your own mind. See? They want to control how you think. They want to control how you walk, how you talk. So throwing those boundaries that blocks you from being yourself. Now, here's the thing. What started as guidance it ended up becoming gaslighting. See? Now, the thing about it is, Virgo, like I say, they turn when Pisces starts to what? Mirror their dark side. See? And then when this happens, like I say, a Pisces start making a Virgo face the chaos. Because that comes with Pisces. Either going to be what? Peace or chaos. Emotions and chaos. Yeah. Now, when it comes to a Pisces, like I say, they're making a Virgo face that chaos that they hide. What? Under the what? Where do they hide the chaos anyway? Under the structure. See? That's the structure of what? Mercury. Mercury of what? The influence. Communication. Of which they say. That's destructive. It's in their words. Just like Gemini, it's in their words. Lying, telling lies to deceive people, shape-shifting constantly, not keeping it real, switching up according to what is being said, trying to dominate the conversation. Look at this. This Mercury influence through communication. So that's where the destructiveness happens right there. That's where it starts. Now, when a Pisces exposes that Virgo perfect plan, is built on what in the first place? That perfect plan is built on what? Fear. Because why? Though that of which you are trying to control is what? Based on fear. See? Based on fear. And that's weakness. That's an insecurity, right? So, with that being said, the Virgo is going to rebel. See? Anytime you try to expose them in their shadow side, they're going to rebel against it. Now, here's the thing. A Pisces Pisces will forgive easily most times. But then a Virgo, what? If a Virgo sees a Pisces forgive easily, what are they going to say? A Virgo is going to say, oh, you're just naive. See? You see how they don't give you a chance to heal. They don't give you a chance. It's opposite from Pisces. They don't give you a chance to actually make it better for yourself, or hey, give it another shot, cut you some slack. No, they just judge you. You're naive. You stink. Your clothes are you know, out of date. You're wearing, hey, they dress like that in 19 such and such. You're nothing. They'll say it just like that, flat out, boom, like. They're throwing the boundaries in your face. Just that when they say it like that, they're throwing a boundary in your face. They're throwing a boundary constantly to barricade you so they could fully control you in how you think by gaslighting you with what is being said. Used in what? A destructive tone. Now, when it comes to secretly, why is all this happening? Remember I said the truth being stored down in the belly. Because of Virgo, what? They envy that emotional freedom that Pisces has and that they embody. And see, when it comes to that, when they resent this, they resent the whole Pisces what? Showing how rigid they've become. See? They like to control that outcome and try to control what you basically the process of you becoming what? A better version of yourself. See, and then when you get tougher, or you just, hey, you start wising up. I'll say that. Once you wisen up, they resent that. See? And then on top of that, see, because no matter what did I say? No matter what, at the beginning of this live, what did I say? I said that no matter what, people will always criticize you if you're doing good or if you're doing bad. There's no in between. So Virgo will continue to criticize you even if you become rigid or better far as when it comes to standing up for yourself or something that catches them off guard. But basically what I'm saying is they basically hide this. It's a hidden envy that they hold, see, against you, Pisces. So No matter if you so put it like this to make this easy to understand. No matter what you do, they're still going to have that resentment. See? Remember I said at the beginning of the video, at the beginning of the live, I said, that's how the world is, right? That people criticize you anyway. So that lets you know the earth sign, Virgo, does the same thing. Criticize you whether you're doing good or bad. Because what is its sole purpose to do? It's to control you. See? So that's crazy that even if you were to become more like them, they're still going to criticize you. Because you know what that means? That's sadism, man. That's sadistic. Sadistic is still putting down and criticizing, still basically hurting you through communication, whether you're doing good, whether, hey, I like you or not. That's sadistic. No matter what, I'm causing you pain, in other words, and getting off on it. No matter what, even if we're cool, we chopping it up, hey, I'm still causing pain. You still kissing my A. That's how they think. That's sadistic. Oh, and you thinking that you cool with them because you listening to them. No, they're just keeping control. Do you believe that in a parallel universe, if a person gets arrested and the handcuffs are on that particular criminal, are they detained or are they getting arrested? Well, it feels the same, right? They have to explain it to you that, hey, sir, ma'am, you're being detained. Well, I still got handcuffs on, but it makes me feel like I'm going to jail, even though I'm being detained. That's sadistic because why? You're still feeling those tight handcuffs around your wrist, my boy. And guess what? It still hurts because they got them on too tight. So they're getting off on me feeling that. Whether I'm being detained or whether I'm getting, arrested. See that? So that's the secret. That's the envy, because the resentment and what's hidden is the truth. So they really enjoy making people mad, basically inflicting pain upon you by what they say. They get off on it. And some of them get away with saying stuff, like just saying stuff that's disrespectful. Sometimes they get away with it. There's no, let's look at a competition. Let's say, who do y'all in the chat, who do y'all think is the worst with the mouth? Do you think it's Gemini? Do you think it's Virgo? Or do you think it's Aquarius? They could just, hey, the way they say stuff is so disrespectful that it's almost like, wow, that's how you coming. And I believe that it's Virgo. I think it's Virgo on my side, because Aquarius can have no filter too now and say some stuff that's, AWOL, some crazy stuff. When it comes to Virgo is almost like they say stuff and they not even, like, they don't give a damn, they don't give a rat's how it comes out. They just say stuff and it's like, damn, that was rude, or that was disrespectful as a mug. It's crazy. Now, when it comes to when a Virgo's love becomes conditional. Now, a Virgo in the shadow side, they'll say things like, oh, I'll love you when you improve. See? Now you see the control, like, I'll love you when you improve. That's crazy. So now they're punishing you by not loving you. And then they're trying to say, like, oh, if you own up until this conditional level that, condition that I'm putting up, then maybe I will, maybe I won't. See how the sadism, it sneaks through the sadisticness within that. It starts to affect you when they get off on it. And see, on top of that, a Pisces soul only thrives on the unconditional flow of things. So you're gonna bump heads anyway. You're gonna bump heads with Virgo anyway, because why? You guys are the opposite of each other. And as I said in the beginning, you guys are gonna bump heads regardless. Now, when it comes to the mismatch, yes, it becomes a war. Because when you, right here, why it becomes a war is because what? We have logic versus what? Empathy. And then we have what? Reality versus faith. Virgo would never understand what Pisces knows spiritually, okay? Vice versa. Well, you know, when it comes to the spirituality of Virgo, sometimes they be into some crazy stuff. The occult, Beyonce. They be into some stuff that's like, wait a minute, this ain't the same spirituality that I'm doing. So you're doing something under the rug there, okay? So what? The chaos, why? Because the chaos is under the structure. Cold-blooded, see? It's under the boundary. See, that's why you can't see it. So when they're being controlling, you can't always tell that they are, because it's under the structure of which they try to project, push out. Either way you feel it, that's how you know it's a boundary. So that's how you know that, hey, you're trying to hide something because what? You don't want me to know that you're trying to control me. Whether what? It's not unconditional. It's not out of unconditional love or anything or empathy. It has more to do with the conditions. If you do this for me, then hey, I might give you this if you do what I say. See? And you give me no lip. See, Virgo can be very demanding with that. Oh, if you do this for me, I'll do this. But it's an if and a maybe. It's never going to say, oh, you know, deep in stone that this is going to happen. Now, in a situation where a Pisces may need emotional support, a Virgo can, yeah, they may give advice instead. That's, you see how that's done where you want emotional support. That Virgo is making a decisive decision to say, hey, no, I'm going to just give you advice instead. Because why? Gaslighting you and not giving you what you want or what you hope for. Because why? They get off on the pain of you not being happy because you're not getting something that you desire out of it. You give up. See how you reacting to them. You give them more what? Reason to control even the more. Now, when it comes to Pisces, feeling unseen because the withdrawals. And these withdrawals, what? These withdrawals are related to how a Virgo interprets that of which is irresponsibility, okay? So a lot of times a Virgo could ignore a Pisces in such a way that a Pisces is almost like not there, even though they are. It's kind of, it's very, very mean in another sense. But I'm just letting you guys know a Virgo can withdraw. See, they can withdraw and they can treat like you not even just sitting there in front of them and not paying attention. And then all of a sudden, a Virgo just thinks that, oh, you know, hey, I'm not responsible for you. I'm not responsible for how you feel. See? So let's say, oh, you come over somebody's house, you got a Virgo relative or family or friend or someone. Sometimes they could be rude where, hey, they'll come over your house and not even say, hey, I'm here, or hey, they might let themselves in if they get, you know, they just stuff like far as you don't, you know how you go by somebody's house and then you ring the doorbell and the person lets you in, you say, hello, hey, how you doing? Not a Virgo. They're rude. They come the door, put it like this. If you got that screen door open, it's unlocked. That Virgo just gonna open that door and walk right on in, smooth, help themselves to the fridge, grab something that, hey, that belongs to you, maybe go straight to the restroom, Because they're not thinking emotionally. They're thinking what? Logically. Hey, the door was open. Hey, well, practically I just figured you opened the door for me. And they know exactly how to say it to where you can't really argue or say, oh, no, you didn't. You did it on purpose. See that? So it's like they'll say, oh, well, it was open, so I just walked in. And then all of a sudden, if you question them about it, then they're gonna criticize you. It's like you give them the key to do it when you react. It's like, oh, because why? That's what they wanted to do anyway. They purposely become an a-hole, and then as soon as you react, you give them the floor. Then they start telling you how you need to be regarding them. Well, they'll say, hey, we'll lock the door next time. I don't even know why you got the door open anyway. Anybody could have done that. There's no accountability. They don't care. They don't think what applies to them. They'll drink something that belongs to you because you have it out. Well, hey, I grabbed a Coke because, yeah, you have it sitting out on the floor. So isn't that for everybody? Like, no, that's mine. See? And then they'll tell you what they've done for you to try to justify their actions. Well, hey, I've given you countless Cokes and I never said a word. So now you're going to tell me I can't have a Coke? Okay, fine. Don't drink any more of my Cokes. And that's when it starts to become, argumentative. It starts to turn into a fight because Virgo will not back down and say for one moment that, hey, this is rude. This is disrespectful. I shouldn't be talking to my aunt like this. Going to be talking to my grandfather like this. They simply do not care. See? Now, another thing is when it comes to if it's a Virgo woman, because some of you may have questions. Now, if it's a Virgo woman and you're a Pisces man, then like I say, she'll adore like the depth at first, like how deep things are, how deeply rooted with emotions. But at the same time, you're going to represent what she's repressing on the inside of her, okay? And that could be what? Vulnerability and intuition. She might not even use it. She might store it because she tries to separate how she feels from what is like. She tries to separate them. She tries to separate the vulnerability and what she actually feels. See, she represses that. Now, when it comes to her moods now, once she starts managing her moods, that's when she starts to, she starts to lose that attraction. See, because that's the thing. Her mood could be off the chain. Now, another thing is that when it comes to her help, it can slowly become condescending, okay? Because that's the thing. It almost feels like she could be wired to the point where everything she says, she's acting like she knows it better than you, or that you don't know better. It's like she'll tell you, hey, lock the door. And all you got to do is take the latch and put it, drag it across and lock the door. It's like she says it like you're an idiot, basically. And I'm going to tell you, you ain't even got to be emotionally inclined. What's rude is rude, okay? And she will say it in such a way that she's delivering it. And you as a Pisces, you like, dang, that's rude. And then at the same time, a Pisces can bring chaos to you. See? So a Pisces can say, oh, I already know how to lock the door. Don't need you to sit here and tell me how to lock the door. Then that's when the war starts. Oh, Pisces, you're getting emotional. I didn't say you didn't know how to lock the door. Next thing you know, y'all back and forth arguing, and it just explodes from there. See? Because Virgo always tries to make it seem like Pisces doesn't know how to do something. And it's like, I know how to do that. Just because I don't brag and boast about that, like you do, doesn't mean I don't know how to do it. See, but Virgo's going to try to show off with anything that he or she knows. They're going to try to brag about locking the door, brag about materials and fixing, and, oh, you don't know how to fix a toilet when it doesn't flush? Oh, yeah, you gotta go. See, this is what you got to do. They're going to talk to you like you're a 4-year-old idiot. They're going to say, you know what you got to do? Go in the kitchen and get me a pot. Or they like to teach you in such a way as if you're an idiot. Like, okay, what you want to do is go in the kitchen and get some hot water and put that in the bowl. And then it's like, okay, now you want to put some dish soap, or just a little bit. Now you want to open the lid of the toilet like this, and now put the hot water in, let it sit for a little bit, and then you want to flush it. Or hey, you can plunge it now, but make sure you plunge it with one hand and not. It's like the way they explain it's like, okay, I am not a freaking idiot, but you got to understand this one thing. The misconception here is that Virgo thinks that she's giving you order and details when she explains things. See? But because she represses her intuition and all the emotions that she should use, she represses it. So when she says things, it almost feels like it's an attack. Because the details aren't necessary when you explain. If you explain what happened when it's required of you to tell how did this crime take place, then yeah, put the details there. It was a Friday afternoon, and it was raining and it was pouring. And then this guy just walked up, climbed a ladder, and then he slipped and fell and landed upside down. He didn't pass away, but it was just hanging upside down, but he slipped and fell on Friday afternoon. See how you just apply the details as it happened, but just to be saying any old thing, any old day to any old body that, hey, you get a bowl of water, then you boil it. Doing that's annoying. And that's why I'm saying that can cause miscommunication. See? And that's why I said Mercury in itself is destructive. Now, when it comes to the red flags, it's the fact that she is not going to give you any emotional support. And I know, Pisces, I know it hurts. I know it's annoying. I know how you feel, because I've been in the same situation. I know how you feel. And why do I say this? Because guess what? She doesn't ask you how you feel. She doesn't watch her tone. She doesn't check on you emotionally. She doesn't say, how do you feel? She doesn't say any of that. All she's so busy caught up in saying and doing is you should do this. You should do this. Is all you're going to hear. You should say this. You should be using 2-ply toilet paper. And the reason your toilet keeps on clogging up is because you're using 2-ply, or, just trying to correct you. And you're feeling like a hostage. You're like, whoa, Virgo, calm down. It's not even that serious. But you done told me I'm using 2-ply toilet paper, and I got the Charmin one, the wrong one, and that you never use Charmin, and you're trying to school me on, hey, Charmin toilet paper is 20% paper and 20% cardboard or something. It's like, dude, I don't want a analyst. I don't want a theory. I don't want any of that. You can keep that for school. I just want to flush the toilet, man. See that? So be careful when you ask Virgo women for advice, because they'll give it to you in a way that you do not. They give it to you in the rawest form. Remember that. The rawest form. It's not no emotions attached to it. Now, here's the thing. This is one of the things that tries to devalue you as a Pisces. And it could be, you could be another zodiac sign. You could feel the same conditions. The thing about it is she could start saying things like comparing you to her ex. And she doesn't even know when she's actually saying something that you shouldn't say. That kind of X's you out. You're never supposed to bring up an ex to a new situation. What are you doing that for? It's as if you don't even respect that, hey, this is a new person in my life. I just met them. You can just run off somebody by mentioning your ex, right? Virgo doesn't think about that. But what she will do is she will criticize how Pisces reacts instead of what a Pisces actually felt in the moment of which she caused it. See? She will focus on control 24/7. And then with a Virgo man is with a Pisces woman, what he'll do is he's drawn to your mystery, Pisces women. He's drawn to your mystery. And like I said, one thing for a Pisces woman, she is a riddle to him, okay? So oftentimes, he wants to solve your puzzle 24/7. He wants to figure you out. Because why? You don't show any reactive energy, see? You don't give that up. See, a Pisces man sometimes is just quick temper. Sometimes a Pisces man just whoosh. It's just like throwing a cup of water on somebody. See? So it's like an instant reaction because a Pisces man just feels like, what's with this person? Like you want to get away from him and shut him up, right? Now, when a Virgo man is with a Pisces woman, another thing is the fact that when he can't figure her out emotionally, when he can't figure out or define her emotions, is what I was trying to say to correct myself. When he can't define her emotionally, what is he going to feel? I know y'all know this about Virgos. They could be real moody, when they get real frustrated. So that's going to frustrate him. And then what is he going to do when he's frustrated? He's going to replace it with what? Fascination. See? That's almost like he's repressing his emotions to try to make himself seem fascinated by you. Like, oh, you're so beautiful. Yeah, I like that about you, though. Because the fact that you don't really do a whole lot of talking, he going to act like he all like excited the way you are, but he really trying to figure you out and he's really frustrated. See that? So he going to put up that boundary and that facade. He going to try to make it seem like, oh, he's all for that. See that? Now, another thing is that he'll retreat into silence when he gets frustrated, where he'll just go quiet or work. See, he'll try to act like he's busy, but he's not. He's frustrated. He doesn't want you to see his emotions, period. Now, the red flags that you got to watch out for. If a Virgo man tries to act like he's suddenly busy, that's a red flag. Because that means that what? He's suppressing his anger. He's frustrated. He doesn't want you to see it or know it. Now, the next thing is he starts to what? Minimize your emotions. Yes. He tries to make them appear smaller than what they are. And he would try to accuse you of overthinking. To control what? How you think. And see, another thing is the fact that he will give you those backhanded compliments. See, he'll say things, like I said, he'll say things like, oh, you're so deep. I like the way you think. Ooh, that's a turn on. I like the way you think. And see, he may say things, he may butter you up and say things like, oh, yeah, you know, yeah, even though it's a little too deep, yeah, I like that. I really like that. See, he could be a player, you know what I'm saying? He can have multiple women because he likes to do the whole sweet nothing thing. He likes to do the whole, oh, yeah, you're so beautiful. And he does, you know, the sweet nothings and that. He tries to relate and tries to act like he likes the same things. Now, another thing is that when you know that Virgo man is mad, he's pissed, is when he stops showing vulnerability. See, that's when you know he's frustrated. Now, when it comes to the next thing I'll say is a couple more reasons how a Pisces can detect that shift that I mentioned before it's too late. Remember, it's going to be the tone before the words. See? So you going to start feeling like, oh, that person is like a clinical. Like, you know, you go to the clinicals and, you know, instead of a person caring for you, it's almost like, oh, that person is being cold-hearted. Could you imagine going to the clinic and next you know the person that helps you is cold-hearted? They don't give a damn. That's how the Virgo is. So that you always will feel the energy shift and understand that there's a impatience that happens when you are with a Virgo. They don't do the whole, you know, be patient, let's wait. Nope. Because they'll start doing the eye rolling, you know, smacking their lips, doing the, you know, like the mood thing with the, you know, they can be very impatient, or they might say things like, oh, never mind. You get those type of responses from a Virgo that's pissed, and the fact that that's when you'll notice that the energy shifts, okay? Because why? It's always going to be a what? Silent exit before what? The real one comes. Now, you got to understand when it comes to spontaneity, when it comes to that whole scheduling thing, what I mentioned about them being, you know, good planners if it's a light-sided Virgo, but so there are some times when a Virgo was suddenly, like I say, they like to plan their affections. Like, how in the hell could you plan an affection? See how when you run it from your emotions, everything just comes out like ass backwards. Like, how can you plan an affection? But that's what Virgos tend to do. And what that simply just means is that they are basically emotionally gone. See? But still just trying to like manage the whole optics of the whole relationship. Like they're the manager in it. Now, also there could be a lot of sarcasm. Now, I'm going to mention Sagittarius energy. When you're dealing with a Sagittarius, you have to watch their energy, because this is what you got to pay attention to, is the fact that it's always, if they resort to that sarcasm, that's what you got to watch. Because if let's say it's a Sagittarius woman, if a Sagittarius woman is present in your life, yeah, she may laugh at times when she's serious. Man, that is so cold-blooded, because remember I said it's very hard to tell where a person is coming from when they're using humor as a mask. See? And I'm telling you, if you see a clown and you look at his face, why does he wear the paint on his face with that smile or whatever, frown or whatever it is? That smile is what, if the way that he makes it because it draws attention to it. So it's a distraction. So it basically throws you off to how that clown really feels. See? So the face doesn't match what? The actions. And then you get so caught into that illusion that clown is happy. And then when that clown pulls a sledgehammer from behind his back and then pounds you, you don't see it coming. See? because you fell for the illusion that that clown was actually happy because you read his face, right? But that's the thing. Sagittarius uses the sarcasm. And yeah, if she laughs, that means that, hey, they're serious. But this is here's the thing. She's already detaching in that moment when she's doing that. See? So what's all fun and games is a serious situation at hand with Sagittarius women. Now, when it comes to the defensiveness to your intuition, see, of a Sagittarius, see, when you say something that feels off, well, and going back to that Virgo, what would that Virgo say? When you say, oh man, something feels off, that Virgo says, oh, you're just imagining things, Pisces, you're just imagining things. And then all of a sudden, you have to pay attention that that's your cue to what? To leave. See? Because if you don't, it's like, oh, that they're going to basically make it seem like you're wrong in the situation. Like, oh, but the thing about it is they're hiding their indecision behind what? Intellect. By telling you, oh, you're wrong because you said, oh, something feels off. See? That's just how cold-blooded it is. Now, like I say, why would a Pisces stay in a situation that's like this? Is because a Pisces, like I say, they hope that the love, they hope that the love can heal the whole